Okay, so this is day 2 of list, right? We have already looked at almost most of the methods of list. So we said that list is an ordered list is an ordered mutable list is an ordered mutable collection, right? Okay, it's an ordered mutable collection, right? And yesterday we saw some methods like uh, um, uh, append, right? Remove. So we had append, which added at the end. We had insert, right? Which added anywhere. Then we spoke about remove, to remove a value. Then we spoke about pop, to remove at a particular index, correct? Apart from that, we did count, index, right? Count, index, okay? Okay. So I think this is what I remember. Let's see. So let's do a program first, okay? So I want to write a program to read marks of 5 students, okay, to read marks of 5 students in their 5 subjects. Read marks of 5 students in their 5 subjects, right? Okay. So we'll create, okay. Now you see, 5 students, okay, we can do using loops, 5 subjects, again, loop. So you have loop inside a loop, isn't it? Inner loop will do 5 times to read 5 subjects, and then that whole 5 thing we have to repeat it 5 times again for 5 students. So the inner loop is going to be for 5 subject marks. Outer loop is going to be for each student, right? So if I say marks equal to this, okay, and now so this is going to be the main list where we will add all the information. So let's do first here. So for I in range 5, okay, this is going to take student, right? And I'm going to say for j in range 5, this is for subjects, and I'll say m equal to int of, or you can do float of input, enter the marks in subject. Now I want it to print subject 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, correct? Now to do that, okay, I need to say subject 1, right? Now if I put f here, and if I say j plus 1, correct? So now j will be 0, so it becomes 1. J will be 1, becomes 2, right? And this way a message will come here. Now I can put a similar message here, and now this time I don't have to say input because we are not taking student name. Okay, we will just print a message saying print, enter the name of the student. Enter the name of the student, and here I'll say I plus 1. So I will be 0, so it's going to be student 1, then take 5 marks, and student 2, 5 marks. Now, this entire thing has to be saved as one list. So I'm going to call this as temp list. Okay, so temp list, I'm going to add it here before I create a loop. So I'll say t list or something equal to blank. So you have this list is blank. Now you add to this list. Dot append M, correct? So T list will have first M, then second M, third M, so on, right? So once you are out of the loop, once you're out of for loop, you have T list which has all the values, correct? You have T list which has all the values. Now this T list I will add to the marks list. So T list is a list. So we are adding one list, two list, three list. This is the master list, master marks, right? We are creating. So every time you're reading the 5 subject marks, we will reset it to blank. Okay, we are resetting it to blank, taking this, and then we will add values to it. So that what happens, okay, once you are done with this for loop, so if I have to say print total marks or all the marks are, okay, and now if I say comma marks and you run it, okay, so enter the name. Okay, so it's not the name. Okay, sorry. Okay, so let's do something else. We are not entering the name. Okay, so we'll say enter the marks, enter the marks for student 1. Right, we are not reading. I was saying that I told that I'm not reading name, and then I put name there. Enter the marks for student, and we'll not put colon here. So we'll run it again. So we say enter the marks for student 1, right? So enter the marks in subject 1. Okay, subject 2, subject 3, subject 4, subject 5. Now this is for student 2, right? 90, 98, 81, 67, 76. Now it is student 3, correct? So 45, 55, 58, 57, 60. Okay, this is for student 4, right? So 5, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so see, this is how we have got the marks in each subject, right? So we created a list of lists here, isn't it? So this is how you can look at you can save the marks of 5 subjects for 5 students here. Okay, this is an example. Now let's, yeah, so what I'll do is, okay, okay, just to save time that we don't have to enter details 5 times, I'm going to move to, yeah, this is where we were yesterday. Okay, so let me delete it, and I'm going to say here marks equal to, right? And we can make it into 2 lines. Perfect. So this is your list here. Now, if I say marks dot, okay, it's capital M, right? I'll make it small here. Now, when you say marks dot, okay, append we have seen, count, insert, remove, pop, index we have seen, in extend we haven't seen, copy, clear we haven't seen, sort, reverse. Okay, so sort. Okay, sort will sort your entire list. Okay, so now if I say sort here, and if I print marks, okay, see what happens. Oops, it's still pointed to the wrong file. I have to run this one, right? So see what happened. Out of these, it has looked at the values, okay, 45, 90, 45, 5, and 3. Okay, it will always check the first value first, okay, of all the members. So which is the smallest? 3 is the smallest. So that's why you get 3 here. Now, if you're able to get an order based on first value, it's not going to check second or third or fourth value. Okay. If you are not able to, let's say, if I have 5 here and 5 here, then it will check the second value for this one only. So if I make this as 99, and if I make this as 98 or maybe 99, let's say I make it at 99. Now it's going to check the third value, right? So if you run this again now, you see 5 is the smallest, then 99 is the second smallest, fine. Now it has looking at 5 and 8. So see, fifth one it got here. So that's how you are able to do the sorting. So for sorting, it's going to check the first member of all the indexes, right? So you have list of 0, list of 1, list of 2, list of 3, list of 4, right? So among all the list of 1, 0 to 4, it will look the one for the smallest one. Here there is a type. These two have 5 and 5. Then it will go and check for the second value of these two only. Both are 99. Then it will go and check for the third value here. So 5 is smallest, and then you have 8, correct? So these two are sorted. Now among these three, 45, 45, 46. So see, 46. So this one becomes third largest. 45 will become fourth largest. And since it has 90, this has become the fifth largest or the largest. Okay. If you want to sort in reverse order, you can say here, sort, and in as a here you pass this member, okay, as sort equal to true. This is called parameter. We are passing a parameter and we are setting the parameter to true. So now when you run, it is totally reversed. So you get 90 first, okay? And you also have something called as marks.reverse. Reverse will simply reverse the data, okay? Whatever is last will become first, and what is first will become last. So now if I reverse, see, it has done the reverse sorting, and now if I do reverse again, it will become the original this list here, right? So you can do reverse, you can do reverse sorting, okay? Okay, so this is how your list works. Okay. Now the next interesting thing, okay, and probably the last thing that we're going to discuss in list is your copy. Extend we haven't done, right? Extend is adding a list to a list. Okay, so extend is adding a list to a list. So if you have L1 equal to list as 1, 2, 3, and if I have L2, which is, let's say, 5, 6, 7, and if you say L1 dot extend L2, now you print L1. Okay, so here L1 and L2 got combined as a single list. Okay, this is like saying L1 equal to L1 plus L2. That's what extend is. Okay, so L1 plus L2 you combine as single list. Okay, so yeah, so the one more important topic here, okay, the one that we haven't done so far is copy. Okay, now you have L1. Let's say we'll take out L1 only. L1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can create another list L3 equal to L1, or I can create another list L4 equal to L1. Sorry, okay, equal to is done, right? Equal to L1 dot copy. Okay, so copy and equal to both will create duplicate copies. Okay, so if I have to print and show you, I can say here like before, or maybe here I'll say 1 L1, and I'll say L1, and I'm going to copy this and paste it 3 times for 3 different. So L1, L3, L4, L3 and L4 you have. So this becomes L4 and this is your L3. So now when you run it, you see L1, L3, L4 all have same values, correct? Now let me do some, okay, let me add some value to L1. I'll say 11. Okay, L1 dot append, okay, 12. And then I'll say L3, right? dot append 13, and then L4 dot append 15. And now let's print, and you tell me what's the difference between these things. What do you see? Okay. You see the output here? This is the output. Okay, so one is before we added those extra elements, 11, 12, right? 13, 15. What do you notice?
L1, 11 and 12 we have appended, but when you apply L3 also, L1 equal to L2, right? So it applied for both when we append. L4 didn't get added, right? 11, 12. That means, okay. Because we didn't copy it, right? That L4 equal to L1 dot copy.
Okay. So what happens here, when we do copy here, this is called as shallow copy. Okay. Shallow copy means it creates a new copy. And here it is like your deep copy. Okay. L3 and L1 point to the same data set or location in memory. Okay. So when you say equal to, it is like you might have your pet name also, right? What people might call you at home. So when you say L3 equal to L1, it is like it's same person but having two names. And when you say copy, it is like create a separate copy. Okay. So when you create a separate copy, so here since you're creating a same copy of L3, your L4 will have same values. Okay.
Yeah.
But afterwards, once you take copy, they are independent, right? Now, if you add to L4 or L1, they will not have any effect. But when you say L2 and L1 are same, if you add to L2 also, L1 will reflect that new update. If you add to L1 also, it will reflect in L2, isn't it? So this is the difference between copy and equal to. Equal to will not create duplicate copy. It's like assigning it to same. Okay, just like same value having two variable names. Okay, same memory location but two names to call. Okay, whether I call you by official name or call you a pet name, you will respond. Copy is like creating a duplicate copy. Your clone is created. So if your clone is created, that is a different person altogether, isn't it? So that is the difference between copy and equal to. So you should know when to use what. Okay, you might use something else and then you will not be able to you will see different. I mean, you don't expect the outcome and you will have a different outcome. That's why it's important you look at the application of these two. Okay. And last thing, of course, is called clear. So if I say L1 dot clear, and I'll say here L3 is equal to, right? So I'll say equal to L3. So what do you think the value of L3 will be? Clear will delete everything. Okay. So list will be there. List is not deleted. The values of list is deleted. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are the methods of the list. Okay. Now we will talk about tuples. Okay. Tuple is another collection. This is also ordered collection. Then what is the difference between list and tuple? Tuple is immutable. Immutable. Your lists are mutable. Lists are mutable. Tuple is immutable. Okay. So, so how do you declare a tuple? So you can say tuple T1 equal to simple bracket open and close. Okay. So if I try to print here T1, or let's do the type of T1. Okay. So it should tell you tuple, class tuple. Okay. So how do you declare a tuple? How do you declare a list first? We declare using a square bracket. How do you declare a tuple? You put a simple bracket open and close. So this is how you declare a tuple. Now, if you add, of course, so I can say T1 equal to 1357. Now you see, when I say 1357, these are the values I'm adding to T1. So it's like replacing, it's like creating a new copy, right? T1 equal to something, you're overwriting it. Now, so this is over creating a new copy of T1. Okay. But now if I want to add something to T1, you cannot do that because T1 is immutable. You can't edit it. So what you see, you only see count and index. These are two methods in which you don't have to change, right? Count will tell you how many values are there, and index will tell you the index of each value, right? So if I say T1 equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. Now if I say print count T1 dot count, and I'll put 2 here. So how many times 2 is appearing? 1, 2, 3 times, right? So it should give us 3. Now, what is the position of 3? Print index, right? So I'll say T1 dot index. Index of 3 is 0, 1, 2, right? So you should get 2 here. Or I'll put index of 2 itself. Let's see. Okay, it should be 1, right? Because your first occurrence of 2 is at first position. So these are the two functions. Other functions are not there. So life becomes much easy, isn't it? Okay. Now, remember, if we have to add, see, I have given here some numbers here. Like you can have an empty tuple. You can have tuple with multiple values. But if you have to create a tuple with just one value, then what happens? Okay. Python will not know whether you are trying to put a bracket or you are trying to create a tuple. So it will assume that you are trying to create a bracket and it gave you as integer because 4 is an integer. So if you want to make it as a tuple with one value, you have to give comma. And this is special case only if you have to do one variable. Okay. So here you have to give comma so that tuple knows that, oh, 4 comma means it's a tuple. But if you have to deal with anything more than one, then it doesn't matter because you can't, in a bracket, you won't be putting a comma b, right? So when putting a comma b, it means it is a tuple. So only when you're dealing with one member in tuple, this is what you have to do, put an extra comma. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is how you work with members of a tuple. Okay. Now, a couple of things I wanted to say here is that, all the properties of list that we have seen. Okay. So let's say you declare a T1 as 4, 5. Now I want to do, so this is also called a packing. Packing means you are putting more than one value together, right? So it's packing. You also have unpacking. So A comma B equal to T1. This is called unpacking. So when I say A comma B equal to T1, so T1 values will get into A and B. So A will have 4 and B will have 5. So when I say print A comma B, you will see A will give you 4 because A will take the first value. Okay. You cannot say A equal to T1 then A becomes obviously tuple. That means, but if you want to do unpacking, you need to have exact same number of variables on the left side as you have values in the tuple. Okay, you cannot give even one more or one less. It has to be same. Okay. Now the question is, if I have to add something to tuple, how do you do? So you have to convert it into list, and then you can add. Okay, you can convert. So I can say T1 equal to list of T1. Now, if you do T1 dot, you see it has become a list. So everything of that we discussed in list can be added here because it is a list. And then you want to convert it back, you can convert it back as a tuple. So any list can be converted to tuple, any tuple can be converted to list. Okay. Converting tuple to list, right? Converting a list to tuple. Okay. So when do we use tuple? Tuples are used when you want to access the members faster. So generally, when you are applying a loop, right, we prefer to convert that into tuple and then apply a loop. It will be faster than list. It's like one way. When you know that nobody vehicle will come on the road, you can ride faster. But if there is a joints everywhere, roads are coming and joining, you'll be careful, right? You can't drive fast. So tuple knows that, okay, you can't be editing, you can only be reading it. Okay, tuple values are only used for reading. Okay, so it is generally faster than your list implementation. So generally, when you have to do a lot of reading of reading thing, so you convert into tuple so that even by mistake, nobody will be able to edit it. Okay, so if you try to edit it, if you try to say T1 of 0 equal to something, you will get same error as what we got in the list. Okay, item assignment not possible. Okay, so that's the purpose. So you're accessing tuples are faster than accessing lists. Okay. So yeah, so you can convert into list and do whatever editing that you want to do, and then again convert it back into tuple. It becomes non-editable or immutable. Okay, so this is about tuple as a collection. Let's move to the third type, which is again important one. It's called dictionary. Now this is also a collection. Okay, but this is unordered, non-linear. Okay, I'll say linear only can say because it's still in one dimensional, but it is unordered. Okay, unordered means if I create a dictionary, you don't know what is the order because there is nothing to track order. In list and tuple, we have indexing. Okay, so in tuple also you have indexing. Okay, so if I have T1 equal to, okay, I forgot to mention, but do that. Think of this. The iteration, okay, for loop, okay, loop and indexing is exactly like list or even string. Okay, they are like this. So if I need a first member, I can say simply T1 of 0. T1 of 0 will give me first member, right? So everything, these things are there. Okay, so I don't have to do it again. You understand. Okay, so indexing and loop is exactly like your list or string. Okay, so dictionary has unordered collections. In unordered means it does not have a key or index. Dictionary doesn't have index. Then how do you access a member? So dictionary has instead dictionary has key value pair. That means as a user, you have to give the key. Okay, so you have to declare the key when you are declaring the value of this dictionary. Okay, so if I have, let's say, the dictionary 1 equal to, now you have to use curly bracket, square bracket for list, simple bracket for tuple, and curly bracket for your dictionary. So if I do here print type of dictionary, and when you run it, you see you have class dictionary. Make sense? So how do you add the value? So you have, it has key. Now key can be anything, okay? And value can also be anything. Only thing you have to remember is that key cannot be duplicate value. I cannot say key one value something else and key one value something else. Values can be duplicated, no problem, but key cannot be duplicated. So if I say 1 equal to 5, okay, then again I cannot say 1 equal to 8. Okay, I'll have to use something else. Okay, so now when I print this here, what happens? This will not throw error, but just that it will, okay, you will lose the data. Okay, so see, it's only giving you a 5 is lost. So it's assuming that you have, you have refreshed the value, you have updated the value. That's what it assumes. Okay, so you can have something like 8 equal to 8:80. So it is always key colon value. Okay, so instead of equal to, I should put colon. So it has key colon value. So this is key, this is value. This is key, this is value. Okay, so just like the way you access list and tuple and string, we can access here. So I want 80, right? So index of 80 is EIGHT. So this is the index. So now when you say dictionary of 8, you get the value. Okay, so it's like you're giving, it's it's taking its own index. It's taking its own index. Okay, so dictionary is taking its own index. Now you can add a dictionary. So see, dictionary has key and value pair. So you only have option to add a dictionary to a dictionary. Okay, so if I have to add a new member, first I have to create a dictionary and then I have to add to it. Okay, so what I'll do here, I'm going to take the same example that we did for list. Okay, this one. And just to make it a little faster, okay, I will take three subjects and 3 students so that we can handle it faster. Okay, so 3 student and 3. Okay, so this is fine, right? Now, so the inner value will be a list, it's okay, but this outer, I want to have a dictionary. And I want to store this as name colon value. Okay, you can have roll number, mostly it will be roll number, but let's see here name. Okay, so I'm going to say enter. Now here we can have input. Okay, and we'll ask it to enter. So I'll say name equal to input enter student's name. Okay, we'll delete J. Let's say. Okay, so enter student's name, and this, okay, so after appending as a list, okay, okay, so this is appending to the list, this is done, but this is not what we want, right? Because here marks is a dictionary. So dictionary, in dictionary, you're adding a new dictionary, so you have to say marks.update. Okay, and here I have to form a new dictionary. So what is the dictionary? Key is n, and value is going to be t list. Okay, so now when you run it, it says enter student name. I say S, you will say 4, 5, 6. Okay, student name R, then student name P, let's say. Oh, I didn't print it. Print final list. Marks, we call it, right? Okay. So now when we run it, student name, let's say S, R, then let's say P. Okay, so now you see S is created as the key, and then you have value. You have key, you have value, key and value, and this is all in dictionary. So I'll save this. Okay, we will work with this dictionary only now. Any questions so far?
I'm good.
Good.
Yeah.
So this is how you can create a dictionary. You can create, update the dictionary. Now I'll move this to new file. Okay, in continuation. Okay, so that when I upload it, everything goes together. But here we will take this as a new variable. I'll say dictionary 2 equal to this. Great. I want to find the list of keys. So I'll say print all keys are, and you say dict2 dot keys. Okay, this keys method, the keys method is only in dictionary. You will not find it in the list or somewhere, obviously, for obvious reason, right? So when I run it, you see only keys. Keys are SRP. I want only values. So of course I can say all values are values, right? So all values are values. We'll give you only values. So values are 369, 159, 951, right? These are the values. So we'll give you only values. Keys will give you only keys. Now, if you want both keys and values, we have something called as items. Item is a list of tuple which has key and value. So items will give keys and values pair. I should say key and value pairs. So if I say print key values and items, you're saying, right? Items are. Okay, dictionary dot items. Dictionary dot items will give you all dictionaries. We got dictionaries here. Okay, you can iterate through a list using keys or values or item. So I can say for vals. Okay, so I can say k comma value. So k, okay, in I'll say dic2 dot items. Now since I'm saying items, item will give us two values. Okay, see, it's giving us two values. It's a list of tuple. You see that? It's a list and list of what? Tuple, and tuple has key comma value. Key comma value. So once I say items, it'll give us two values. Okay. First value will save in K. Second value will save in V. Okay. So now you can say here print here, and I'll say key equal to V. Okay, key comma value. Dictionary is list and dictionary we are going to use a lot. Okay, as we go along. So if you want to see other properties or methods of the dictionary, we have seen keys, items, values. Clear will delete everything. Okay, clear will delete everything. Just like we had clear in list, it's going to clear everything. We'll come back. Update we have seen copy, pop item, get. Okay, set default. Okay. So now you see here, okay, we have done all these till update, right? Copy. Copy is same as the copy in list. Okay, so this copy is also same as the copy that we have done in the list. Okay, so what did it do? You remember?
It will create a duplicate.
Yes. So key will create duplicate copy and equal to. Okay. So if I say dictionary 3 equal to copy and dictionary 4 equal to dictionary 2 we are using, right? 2. Right. And now I make some changes to dictionary 2. Dictionary 2 dot update, and I'll say here Q colon, and value I give as a list. So I'll say 4 comma 6 comma 9. Okay. So now when I print dictionary 3 copy dictionary 3, and here also dictionary 4, right? Equal to, where we used equal to. Dictionary 4. Okay, so we added Q to dictionary 2. So dictionary 3 is not reflecting, but dictionary 4 is reflecting. Okay, same concept that we did. So this is a shallow copy and deep copy. This is shallow copy. Okay, and this is like your deep copy. Okay. Then pop. So you have pop and pop item. Pop and pop item both are used to remove data. Okay. Pop item has POP. Pop item has no argument. Okay, it will delete of its own. You cannot say, okay, delete 5th element or 10th element. It will delete on its own, okay, whichever you want. So you can't trust it. Generally, it is the latest added. Okay, so last added will be the first one to be deleted by your pop item. Okay, sorry, it's pop item, not pop items. Why did I say pop items? Okay, so here I'm going to say dictionary 2 dot pop items. See, pop needs key, but pop item doesn't need anything. It will remove on its own. Okay. Your pop takes the key, and that particular key value pair is deleted. So you cannot, keep value if you delete index, right? So key is also deleted, value is also, corresponding value is also deleted. So pop item, okay, will delete on its own. Generally, the latest one is deleted. So we added Q here, right? So now if you print dictionary 3 itself, okay, let's print dictionary 4, right? 4 is same as dictionary 2. So if you see here, your last element that we added, Q, should be gone, okay? And if you are saying dict2 dot pop, you have to mention key. I have to say R here inside. Now, if I run it, I will put this as 3 dot and this as 2 dot. Okay. Did we say R? Pop item. You cannot say pop item. You have to say pop. Sorry, guys. Missed. Okay. R is gone. Here you see, R is not, the P is there. So if you want to delete the last, but still, okay, because you cannot trust the dictionary. Dictionary is unordered. So you cannot say this is last or this is first. Okay, that's why I have to delete it. Then you have to give specific key, saying delete this key. If you want to delete any one, then you can directly use remove pop item, right? Or your pop item, right?
Yeah.
Anyone will be removed. Okay. There are two things which I want to talk about before.
So, Swapnil, you're saying it's like a pop item when you use this, it will randomly remove
Correct.
something. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So if you want to remove anyone, you can use pop item.
Okay.
Okay. So there are two more stuff which I want to show you before before we end this. So one is we have seen how to access value based on the key, right? So indexing here is also like your list or tuple or string, right? If I need, where did I think I used here? No. Okay. So I can say here, okay, I will again create this because we have deleted few stuff, right? So let me do it again. Now I can say here, print dictionary 2 of, let's say S, right? So if I say dictionary 2 of S, you get the S value, 369. Okay. Now, if you have the value, okay, if you have the value and you want to get the key, okay, get key for the given value. So you have to say here dict2, okay, dot get. And here you give the value. So 369 is the value. I'll just copy and paste because this is a number list. I can use it. If it was a string, I would have used string here. Oops, sorry, I got it wrong. Unhashable list. No, wait. So I might have got it wrong. Yeah. So this is another way of doing it, okay? Sorry, my mistake. This is another way of getting the value only. Okay. Another way of getting the value. Sorry, my mistake. Okay. This is another way of getting value. So you can get the value here. Okay. Make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
So these are the functions. Okay, yeah, I was doing one more, right? Yes. There's something called get. We have done is set default. Okay. So you have set default. Okay. So how set default works is, now let's say I want to create I want to create a list. Okay, let me recreate it. Okay, so let's say this is the list that we have created. Now I'm going to say, let's say, okay, I'll say X, let's say X equal to your dict2 dot set default. Okay, set default. And then I'm going to say here S. Set default S. And then I'll say here 0, 0, 0. Why should I give quotation? No, this is a list, right? This is not a string. So I give 0, 0, 0. Now when you print X, okay, so okay, so you got 369. Okay, we said set default here. Now if I print dict2, wait, let me add PA, let's say. You see, what it did is it added a default value to T as 0, 0. Okay, so if you're building a dictionary with some default value, okay, you can say here key comma default value. Okay, so if I say, okay, create a dictionary of 5 values and later you add marks to it. So you can create, okay, default value, let's say T, and then saying set default to 0, 0. So it added a 0 here, and you can go back and add it whatever data you want. So I can say dictionary 2 of T. Okay, it is mutable, so you can go and add here. It is 10, 20, 30. And now you try to print, print this dict2. Okay, so it replaced. So if you have to create a dictionary with some random value, you can say set. Okay, and it will create those random values. Make sense? So these are the methods of dictionary. Okay, we'll stop here. Tomorrow when we meet, we'll take one example. Okay, we'll look at a couple of methods, and then we'll move on to the next topic, which is sets. Okay.